Hi, in this video we're going to take a look at the different parts of the Bridge interface and what they do. But first, how can we open Bridge? Well, there are two main methods that I use. The first one is from Photoshop. So let's just go to Photoshop and I can go File, Browsing Bridge, or I can use the keyboard shortcut of Alt, Control and 0. Or if you're on a Mac, it'll be Option, Control and 0. Okay, another method would be to go to the Start menu here, which is what I am in Windows, and just click on Adobe Bridge 2020 and that will open up Bridge for you. Okay, now we've got Bridge open, let's start at the top. Here we've got the menu bar, and we use the menu bar to access File and Edit, View, Stacks, Label, Tools, Window and Help. Now if you click on any of these, you'll see application specific drop down menu options. Nothing we haven't seen before really. Underneath this we've got the application bar. Now this provides buttons for essential tasks, such as you've got your forward and back buttons. We've got to go to your parent folder or your favourites. We've got a reveal recent file or go to your recent folder, and then we've got the quite hilarious boomerang, which is return to Photoshop. A really useful piece of kit is the photo downloader or get photos from camera. Then we've got refine, and refine allows us to start with a lot of images and display them all in like a lazy Susan on the screen, and then we can refine them and knock them out and get down to either a few or just one that we want as our keeper. And then we've got this one, which is the Adobe Camera Raw, but we've got nothing active, so I'll just click on an image and that should bring these in. So that's opening Camera Raw. And then we've got the two rotate icons, so we can rotate in one direction and then rotate in the other direction. Okay, moving right, we've got the Workspaces, and here you can see we've got Essentials, Libraries, Film Strip Output, Metadata, Keywords, and then we've got some extra pieces in this drop down box here which allows you access to other workspaces, or we can create a new workspace. Now a workspace is just a particular combination of panels that you decide is good for your workflow. Now Essentials, you can see, has all these panels in place. If I click on the Libraries workspace, that will bring me a different combination of panels. And so my content panel now is down at the bottom. And then any second now, because this has actually got to get onto the internet, this will bring up the Libraries panel. Okay. So now if we want, we've got a film strip. So here we've got the content again at the bottom, and if we click an image we get a nice big preview because the preview pane is nice and large in the middle. So we can go through these by either clicking on them or using the forward or backward arrow keys. And then we've got an output workspace, which is basically if we want to make some PDF files. And we can just go through and build our own custom PDF, which is brilliant. And then we've got a metadata panel. So metadata workspace here, is where you've got all your metadata, like your rating, your labels, your keywords, date modified, dimensions, all the detail stuff that you'd want. And then we've got a keywords, where any keywords that you put in will appear in this kind of workspace. And then the great thing about this is that this is fully customizable. So what you can do is you can create your own new workspace, and all we've got to do is to put together a set of panels in an order that we want them in, and then we go to create a new workspace. And that will appear up here on this bar, so you can access it really quickly at any time. Okay, I'll just go back to the Essentials workspace for now. Okay, moving along to the right, we've got the quick search facility up in this top right hand corner. And this gives us the ability for a quick search for anything that's in actual eBridge, or that's on the Windows environment, or we can actually search Adobe stock if we need to find any stock images for any of the work that we need to do. And then there is an advanced search which brings up this find dialog where we can actually program in, if you like, different criteria to really narrow down a search to find the images that we want. Back over to the left, we've got the breadcrumb trail. And this is the trail leading you to the folder in which you've got your images. So this is showing me that I'm on the desktop, I'm on this PC, I'm on my C Drive Bootcamp, in my users folder, in the admin, in Google Drive, 7 building blocks of Photoshop, the interface, Adobe Bridge, introduction to Adobe Bridge, and images. And you can see it's the same trail here. So we've got down to introduction to Adobe Bridge and images. And it can give us just a quick little, if I want to go back, I can just go click and I'm back into introduction to Adobe Bridge. If I go back again, I'm back into Adobe Bridge. And then if I want to go back where I was, I can just double click and I'm back to my images folder. And this is the folder that contains the images that's been previewed in the content area. Next are some options for thumbnail quality and preview generation. Now here you can see we can browse quickly by preferring embedded images. Now an embedded image is something that comes from your camera. It's quite small and it's okay for looking at and for quickly browsing. But because it's small, if you select this, it will be really fast browsing because it's not got to redraw quite hefty high resolution files. So your browsing experience will be better because it'll go faster. And then every time you click, it will then generate a high resolution image just for that image. And then here we've got some options. We can prefer the embedded, which I've said is faster for browsing. We can choose high quality on demand or always high quality. So basically we've got either fast browsing and just high resolution when you click on it, or you can have high resolution images, but it depends really on, you know, how meaty your computer is really. And then we've got a sort facility, so we can sort by any of these, by file name, by type, by date created, and this is sorting all the files that's in any folder, or we can do it manually. And then this little arrow at the end, this is the order. So this is ascending order or descending order. And you can see that if you look at the thumbnails, they actually change round. And then we've got open recent file, and we've got a list of the recent files that we've actually saved, so we could go quickly back to any of these. And then we've got make a new folder, which is create a new folder. And then we've got the trash can should we wish to delete anything. But the trash can's obviously greyed out because we haven't got anything selected to delete. Now down at the bottom of the content panel here, we've got some options as well. And this first one here is the thumbnail size. So I can either click on the plus and the minus, or I can just drag the slider to make the thumbnails bigger or smaller. Then we've got basically some different options on the thumbnails. We can lock the thumbnail to a grid, in which case whatever the thumbnail size, this is the size of the grid. Or we can just have the thumbnails on their own. Or we've got a view content with some detailing, and these are just quick access really to a couple of different workspaces. And then here we've got just like a list view. Now these two, we've got tiles and thumbnails. Now the tiles, let me just flick back to here. The tile is this dark area that surrounds the actual thumbnail image itself, and you can have that on and off. So if I uncheck the tiles box, then those tiles behind disappear. And if I click on that again, they appear again. Now the last one, thumbnails only, this gives you an unfettered view of just the thumbnail. So if I leave that unchecked, here you can see I've got some information on the image that comes underneath. If that is a distraction to you, then with all your thumbnails you can turn all that information off in one fell swoop just by clicking and checking that checkbox. Oops, I think I've missed something. Yes, I did. I don't think I told you about the filter. Now what we can do in Bridge is we can filter by different criteria. So we can filter to show just the rejected items, to show the unrated items. We can do it by star rating, by 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 stars. And we can filter to show the labelled or the unlabelled. There we go. I'm glad I remembered that. Okay, well, that's it for this video, where we took a look at the main parts and functions of the Bridge interface. Next, we're going to create our very own custom workspace, and we're going to do that in the very next video. I'll see you there. Bye for now.